Kylie, I think we need to talk about the Banshees of Inisherin. I think that's how it's pronounced. I'm not sure.
I don't know. I don't know
also
how
don't
almost
know.
anything is pronounced. Podrick, or is it
Yeah.
Pawrick? Because they did
Okay,
not say the D.
that's my only issue with the Inisherin part, because I don't know how much it was their accent, and I'm
Right.
just saying it
I know.
in a weird way, you know?
I totally get that.
And what exactly is a banshee?
I know, right? He said there's none.
Yeah, Google the definition.
A banshee is a female spirit in Irish folklore who heralds the death of a family member, usually by screaming, wailing, shrieking, or keening.
Huh. How? I don't know how it's relative.
The donkey?
She's the banshee?
No. Just like the family member who dies.
Let's just start right away with ratings.
Oh, gosh. I'm going to say something that
Oh, God.
I think... I want to say like 8.5.
Okay. My turn?
I was almost leaning towards 8.2, but it does
Ooh.
deserve respect. Like, it really does. Okay, go ahead.
I would give it... All right. Before I say what I'm going to give it, I'm going to say this isn't really how... Despite this, it does not indicate how much I like a movie.
Okay.
I'm just like... And I also want to say, too, because we rate, like, quite a few things sometimes high. And I also want to make it clear that just because it's a high rating doesn't mean I'm, like, in love with this movie or it's even one of my favorite movies.
Okay.
With that being said, I would give it a 9.7.
What? What?
I really would.
My jaw is on the ground.
Pick it up.
Explain.
Okay.
Because to me, like, it felt kind of like a bandwagon thing of everybody liking this movie so much. And I mean, it was a good movie by all means. I just don't know. I don't get all the hype. And I feel like other people are hyping other people up.
Interesting.
And so I want to see what your reasoning is.
Sure. For me, I felt like when the movie ended, I have bones to pick about the ending, and that's like what knocks it off for me. But
Or else it would have been a 10.
Yes.
And you only took off 0.3.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah. Anyway, when I left the movie, I felt like, okay, this movie deserves an award. I felt that way. Like, I don't know which award per se. It doesn't necessarily have to be an Oscar, but it deserves, if this was hanging up in a museum, it deserves a little ribbon attached to it of something special.
What's the reason?
Okay. For one, okay, I wasn't completely satisfied, and it mostly had to do with the ending. But for a lot of the movie, it satisfied this part of me that I've been almost longing for, which is this being sucked in to something. Like, really being sucked the fuck in. Like, I'm not even sitting here on this chair anymore. I'm, like, in Ireland.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Also, it had this, like, element of, I guess you'd say, mystery. What I mean by that is, like, I couldn't figure out why this was good. And that was appealing to me, because it felt like I couldn't pinpoint what exactly about something like this makes this
Right.
a strong or good story at all. And that mysterious part to me that I don't know, it's like something bigger than me, felt
Yeah.
like that touched a different realm, because I can't even break down why this would ever be good. I couldn't tell you why this could ever be that good. And the third thing was that it gave, like, I think my first thought is that what maybe I've been missing, that I've been craving, is a really good story. Not
Mhm.
a good script, not a good direction, not a good even performance, but the story itself. Like, what if I was just to give you a play by play of like a story of a movie,
What
you know?
about the story was
Minus the
so
ending,
good?
minus the ending.
Okay, yeah, you're gonna have to explain this ending that you got beef with.
Yeah, okay, minus
Okay.
the ending, like, it just felt like I was actually watching a story, is my point. Like, I'm not distracted by, oh, this is just such a great performance and that's what this
Mhm.
movie is, or like, that was so aesthetically pleasing and that's what the movie is. I
Yeah.
feel like for the first time in like maybe a couple months, I'm watching an actual story, like as if someone's reading me a fucking story.
Yeah.
The story itself, not a good script,
Mhm.
but like not great dialogue, but there's an actual story here. There's like a full roller coasters of like two men, one says, I don't want to be your friend anymore, I just don't like you. Then this
Mhm.
guy goes and like, that doesn't make sense. He's like confiding in like these other people. Then he goes back to him like, that doesn't make sense. Like, how can you just be like that? I'm gonna cut off a finger if you don't leave me alone. Like, I'm not even trying to be mean to you. Whatever. Like, he would never do something fucking crazy like that. Then does like cut off his fucking
Mhm.
finger. Mad, I don't know how to deal with this. Listen, if you come to me again, I'm gonna cut off all my fingers. Like, if there had this like energy about it that almost felt like a parable or like an allegory, like a story that's like, almost when you hear like Greek mythology stories, the point of this is to give you a message. Like, the whole
Okay.
point, like, it can be even a stupid story or like this person did this, but the whole point of it is to explain like a premise. Do you know what I'm saying? Or like
Okay.
get like a point across to you. But with the ending, it like didn't really have that much of a moral. Like, I feel like it also did, cuz there's also like there's morals to it that I just have to like think about what is the moral of this story. And I think if it was a really clear and obvious one,
Yeah.
then I would have been more satisfied
Mhm.
with the whole thing, because it felt like this very interesting short story, and like the purpose of it is like to mean this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Yeah. That, and it almost had this writing slash acting energy of everything everywhere all at once, in terms of the balance between drama and comedy felt really good.
Hmm.
Like, this is like,
What
there's
type of
definite,
comedy like do you think is in this? It just didn't
nearly the
feel
whole
very
thing.
comedic.
Like, to me, not comedy in the way of like slapstick comedy, but comedy in the way of like, if maybe you're reading like a Shakespeare and it's entitled a comedy, you know what I'm saying? But it's not like, no one's laughing for real. You know what I'm saying? It was just like,
Interesting.
I don't know. It felt like I'm sure on some level it has comedy in its genre, this movie.
That's
You
so
don't think?
interesting. I don't think.
Why?
To me it just felt like a drama and it was really giving play.
Okay.
I mean, I respect it completely. I think I'm a
Like,
little
trust
less in
me,
love.
you're not gonna offend me at
I
all.
know I'm
Like,
not.
trust it.
I mean, if anything, obviously everyone does agree
Look,
with you.
genre. The very first one, comedy. Third one, dark comedy. Then drama, and then tragicomedy.
That is so weird. I mean,
I'm telling you.
I did not feel any
Humor?
humor at all. I really didn't. It was so dramatic.
Yes, that was like almost like the comedy aspect of it. It was really like character-y.
Yeah, I mean, I did smoke before, and you would think that would make somebody laugh more, but I think it made me a little bit more serious. I was also going into this expecting such a serious
I thought I was
movie,
gonna
so
cry.
I think that there's no way
Oh, okay.
that I was
so
gonna
that
get
just
that.
reminded me. I thought I was gonna cry going into it. I really did. I thought it was gonna be something really sad, like
Yeah, something
especially
super,
the description of the movie. And there was this part, like it was also sad.
to me, it was
The
really
ending
sad.
made it like kind of less sad, but it also like we'll have to talk about the ending in a minute because I want to know your opinion too. But there's even that part when Podrick, is that his name?
We're gonna call him that
We're gonna
because
call him that. Okay.
I think it's their accents, to be honest.
He's he just got his ass beat by the cop, and
Calm.
call him.
They call him.
So that's what we're gonna call him. Yeah.
Okay.
He picks him up, puts him on, his little carriage. He's riding with him, and Podrick is like breaking down, crying at
I
him
know.
next to him because of this like loss, this really recent loss. And I'm sure they did do shit like this before.
Right.
He's thinking about how this like won't happen anymore. Like I'm in this very lonely part of life now.
Yeah.
And his face, like when he was crying, was
I know.
so vulnerable,
Yes.
That, and with that, Colin Firth, I think he did a really good job because he played a really specific kind of guy, I feel.
Yeah.
Don't you think he did really good?
Yeah.
And at some point in the movie, Colin Farrell.
No,
Who
because
the
tell me
fuck
why.
is Colin Firth?
No,
Who is
because tell
that?
me why I thought that was his name too, and I feel like we went through Mandela.
No, wait, who is Colin Firth? Like,
No,
is that a real
someone else.
person or
Yes,
is that a joke?
it's a real person. To me, I got them like.
Holy shit! No way, that's
I
Colin
know.
Firth. Sorry,
Trust me,
that is a Mandela
I
effect.
agree with you completely.
No way, that guy is Colin Farrell. Like, that's just on God. Like that's not him.
No, I agree with you.
All right, I guess in this dimension, Colin Farrell did a really good job.
He did so good because I feel like it was refreshing to see him in a role that was like this.
Yeah, I thought so too. Where he's like, not like an underdog, but he's
just a real person out there.
Yeah,
or something. I
he's
don't
not
know.
like a badass Billy or.
He's not.
He's just what's like I don't even know.
Remember
This
they
character
called
is
him
really
Dull
specific.
forever.
He was really almost like naive.
Yeah,
And
he was. Okay, but think about it. He literally has grown up and lived with his sister. He has his animals. He's almost
his
on.
parents are dead. Well,
Yeah.
not 8 years ago, they said.
Yeah, and he just has this best friend, and he only knows 3 different houses. Like he doesn't do anything.
He has the same routine every day.
Yeah.
His 2:00 at the pub.
He's kind of like, I don't know, a teenage girl stuck in the body of like a man.
In what way?
Just in innocence, just going through life, very naive, and just like the mindset.
Okay.
Not, you know what I'm saying?
Totally.
And having this best friend, and whenever we're teenage girls lose best friends all the time, and it's just like, whatever, get over it.
Yeah. But this really was his whole motherfucking life.
And he loved his friend.
He loved him so much. Like too much.
Yeah.
And not in a bad way. When I say too much,
It's
I mean
pure.
like it was so cute. Oh, he was very I can't even think of the word. I wanted to say like fragile, but it's not like he's fragile in a way of like annoying. He's like sensitive.
Yeah, he is.
Or something. He's fucking something.
Yeah. He's a lot.
He's a lot. For a moment when I was watching it, I was like, this doesn't seem like the style at all. But I wonder if this is Yorgos. It's like, it can't be Yorgos because I would know that Yorgos is coming out with a movie. But he loves to use Colin Farrell and that kid who drowned in the lake.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he loves to use them over and over.
I think specifically that guy did a good job.
He always does.
Yeah.
I don't know what he attaches to act, or like what's happening, but he plays the characters that are so specific that this specific person, no one else is going to play that better than you. I like almost believe that.
And I believe him so much, especially in this role. He does look like a character from the 1920s. Like
he's so good. Like it's always blown me away.
Crazy.
These characters. But yeah, it wasn't Yorgos, which I didn't know by the end. But I thought it was interesting that they're in something else together again. In all these different ways, they're always these like acting partners.
That's cute.
Yeah, I hope they like each other.
I'm sure that they do. Any scenes that really stuck? I mean, obviously the scene of them driving or like riding home together definitely got both of us. Like, I really made a sad face.
It was horrible.
It was sad.
Also, and I hope this wasn't too triggering for you, but this death did seem pretty fucking real. Or at least it hit like painfully. The loss of his donkey.
And everyone, like, his sister left, and
yeah, it was the cherry on motherfucking top of dog shit of everything.
His life right now.
It was horrible. And especially since like it was almost foreshadowed in the like a way, not in a way of like I hope the donkey never dies or something, like something so obvious like that, but like this donkey was made a point like several times in the movie.
And it was his
baby.
Also, it was his pet, you know how his friend had the dog. He also
made it clear that when he's sad, like this donkey needs to be in here with him. This is like his PTSD animal.
That's what I mean by he's almost like a kid.
Uh-huh.
In an adult body. Do you know what I mean?
Of course.
Just the innocence of a child.
Yeah, he's very innocent. Maybe that's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
So innocent that even if he would do bad things, he like didn't even know how to process him.
I know.
Acting up.
He was a kid or something crazy. He never grew up.
What did you think of Column?
I think great job to the actor, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I understood him in a way of this maybe desperation to maybe midlife crisis. I don't know what you would call it.
I mean, it made sense to the audience.
It was just like
obviously
really,
just didn't make sense to Podrick.
But it was very dramatic, obviously. This is based on a play, right?
I don't know. What makes you say that?
Because I thought it was. I thought you've told me that. And then when I Googled it, it said play.
Well, maybe it is. Why? What does that have to do with anything?
I lost my train of thought. Actually.
Great.
What was I talking about?
Something about it being a play. I brought up Column.
Oh, that is just so dramatic. He's so dramatic because you don't need to break up a friendship because you need to focus more on making some sort of name for yourself in the music.
Okay, see, the thing is, I really got it, and I think it was interesting that it was shown in the way of a friendship. If this was a relationship of like romance and one of them was just like, I don't like you anymore, it's simply that. Like, I don't like you, wouldn't be confused. And like if they were like, I just want to do my own thing, like I don't want to see you anymore, I want to do my own thing, it's a breakup. Like, it's just when you see it through the lens of a friendship, it looks like that's crazy. Like, that doesn't ever have to happen.
Mhm.
If this was a love story, it would make all the, like, you wouldn't be confused from the get-go, from the very first line of, I just don't
no,
like
I'm
you.
not confused about it, and I get it, but he still did have love for his friend. It wasn't that he just, because he was like, you liked me yesterday, and he was like, just our conversations, you talk about this too long, kind of wasting his time almost.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a conversation that you typically would have with a friend. Like,
I don't think
I need to take time away.
Colin like needed to do any of the things that he did, especially his fingers.
I know.
His
That's what I mean.
obviously,
It was
he's
things like that were
out
so
of control.
dramatic.
Even sitting in his burning house as a front because
know.
he escaped.
You're such a
this,
fraud.
like, hidden door.
You pretended like you were gonna burn up.
Smoking, not looking at his peripherals, like he knows
So
he's
dramatic.
right there. Yeah.
Drives me crazy.
Yeah. What did you think of that little boy though? Dominic is his name.
Oh, I mean, it's just a little boy. He's a little shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
He's
I know.
such a little shit, but
He had a shitty
he's
life. It sounded
harmless.
like. Yeah.
he's just, it might be a little annoying. And I just thought it was so cute. A cute moment for him when he goes back into the bar and the guy's like, I've kicked you out. He said, you kicked me out till April.
Yeah.
It's April.
Yeah. It was April 1st.
Yeah.
Too.
I know.
But
I thought that was so cute.
I also really liked when he went up to Siobhan and was like, he couldn't figure out how to tell her he liked her, or if like she wanted to be with him.
Yeah.
And because the whole movie, she's been like, get the fuck out of here, like get lost. And in this moment, she was like, oh, I don't think so, Dominic.
I know.
It was really cute how she was really gentle with him.
Yes.
In that moment.
I thought so too. And I thought his death was so traumatic.
You did. You did.
Yes. I was not expecting that.
I know, right?
And he fell in.
I know. I'm telling you, it was such a peculiar story.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say. It
was
guess
so
it was
weird. I think that's what knocked a little bit off for me, just because it was almost confusing I just couldn't, I guess going into the movie, I felt like I was seeing something else.
Yeah.
And it was just taking me into a different direction, and I had to.
I think it was refreshingly original.
Yeah.
It felt like when I was watching it that there's a lot of movies that in all different ways, even subconscious ways, it feels like you're adapting with the time. Like you're making movies that what do people want to see? And all of them, or a lot of them, have hints of that. Like, oh, they want to see this, and people are really into this now, and blah, blah, blah. And it felt like this movie didn't like care that much or something. It wasn't as like trendy, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, I have a question. Obviously, we could talk about the sister, which we can save her for a minute. I really want to know what you think of that.
Old woman?
The old woman, I think that's what a banshee is. And they were like, we don't have any. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because she was weird, and she seemed like she was into some witchcraft.
She knew what the fuck was up. She said there would be 2 deaths on the island, and there were. There was the donkey and Dominic.
Yeah.
And yeah.
She must be a banshee.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still a little confused of what it is. Is it like a psychic? But
it's a spirit person woman.
Okay.
Who comes when there's a death of family, friends, like yada, 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 to help them, aid them in the process of death. Something like that. That's what it said. So is she the banshee?
I'm sure.
Okay.
Did you like her?
She was scary as hell.
She was so scary.
I obviously don't have any beef with her. She didn't do anything wrong.
It was her face. She just was
She looked
sharp.
like a true witch.
Yeah. She was sharp in the eyes.
Yeah.
Like they could cut you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, the sister.
Siobhan, I loved her. Yeah.
We both love
That's
her.
like almost all there is to it. Like she
Yeah.
was great from beginning to end, and she was her own person, but she's also so empathetic, and she also tried to and she was mentally intelligent wise a step above every
Right.
motherfucker in this town, because
She was intelligent as hell.
this to her was such stupid drama, stupid beef,
Yeah.
stupid cutting fingers. Like,
Right.
it was so, how probably we felt as the audience is how Siobhan felt inside this world. Like,
Yeah.
you guys are ridiculous. You're being stupid.
Yeah, she was ahead of her time, and she really did just... I lost my train of thought.
Jesus Christ.
I know. I feel like I have amnesia.
Get it together.
What was I gonna say about her?
Something about Siobhan.
No,
She
I know.
was a step ahead of her time.
She was... Oh, okay. Because people like in the 1920s, and this is rural Ireland,
Mm-hmm.
would never... The women need a husband. I mean, what are you gonna do as a woman if you don't have a husband in this time?
Right.
And she didn't care. She went to go get her little job, move away. Just respect. And she did love her brother so much.
A lot.
And I just loved how they were there for each other and had this little life together.
And when Siobhan was leaving,
I know.
first, just the fact that she was leaving right now at this second, because something had just happened, right? He had just got,
The four fingers got chopped
yeah.
off, and he was left at the bar
Yes.
hanging.
Yeah, and she was leaving right now, like in the midst of everything.
Right.
And he like kind of stands in the doorway, is like watching her leave. And that looks like it's almost the last time he's like gonna see her.
Yeah.
But then he goes to the edge of the cliff.
I know.
And he's like waving, and she's like blowing him kisses.
I know.
Oh, it was just horrible. It was so sad.
It was so horrible.
And then he comes back, and Jenny is choked dead.
Oh my God. I know.
Oh,
That goat
because
death. I mean, not the goat.
donkey.
The donkey death was horrible.
No, it was bad. And the worst part of it is that he probably went home to go be comforted by Jenny.
Duh.
That like that's just that poor thing. How do you think of how his character evolved throughout this story?
I think he was the same person in the beginning and the end to his core. I just think he had to... Because, okay, when he's sitting in the bed all alone, after he burns the house down and he is in shambles, he wrote this letter back to his sister. He is in shambles thinking about his life and maybe what happened, maybe what he did.
Mm-hmm.
Burned down his friend's house with his friend in it. And he has this like hard exterior. I think he's trying to keep up with everyone else and just power through.
Yeah.
And so I don't think that it's necessarily that he's bad because he walked away after he burned the house down with his friend in it.
Okay, but what was interesting about that letter was that he was mentioning how Dominic died.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he can't come. I think he said that Jenny's dead.
Yeah. Oh,
but
did he?
He might have not. But he said specifically, other than that, there's been nothing else going on. And they showed the house on fire.
Yeah.
And so he made it clear, or they, like, whoever wrote it made it clear that he didn't even, like, care to tell Siobhan that he had burned.
Yeah.
What's his column to the ground. Like, I don't know if he really didn't care. I'm sure he did. I don't know. At this point, I can't tell if he cares or not.
What I think is that he misses her so much. He needs his sister. He doesn't even have his donkey anymore. He is in so much pain, but he knows obviously that his sister, he's putting her before him. I think he knows that if he tells her everything that has happened, she maybe is going to come back and be miserable. I think he's just trying to make it seem like he's doing good. He made it seem like he was doing pretty good, and he was doing horrible.
And that was another line in the movie too that was really sad when he was saying like it's not just up to you to decide that we can't like be friends anymore. He's like, it's been going well. He's like, it's not been going well for me. It's been terrible. And he's like, well, it's been going well for me.
He said it takes two to tango.
I don't want to tango. You were just dancing with your dog.
Oh, God. Why do we remember that whole thing?
I don't know. We were there. You were lingering banshees.
I do think the setting was so pretty.
It's so pretty.
Oh.
Do you think they shot it in actual Ireland?
It feels like it.
They shot it somewhere over
It
there.
feels authentic.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, do you want to talk about like his fingers at all?
I think that's crazy. I was just thinking, is this like standing for anything, or is it just him being crazy and dramatic, or is it a metaphor? Am I supposed to look deeper into like this thing?
I can't
It
tell.
does feel kind of Shakespearean or something. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. It felt like a parable, like an allegory, like a literal short story that's supposed to supply you with a moral.
Right.
That's literally what it felt like a fable, like a fake story that has a bigger meaning. And I don't know, but the ending made it that I don't really know if that's the case. You know?
Right.
It was just like, oh, maybe that was just a fictional story. That's it. And like, why would you write that? Like, I'm lost.
Okay.
Now I don't really know how to feel.
I mean, this is a quick little explanation.
Okay.
That the message is the messiness of ending a friendship.
Okay.
I mean, that's obvious.
Yeah, but okay. You know how like if you wanted to say Midsummer is the messiness of ending a relationship, but which could technically be true.
I did get vibes from that.
But it's showing it in a way that is so dramatic.
Mm-hmm.
This is like underlying, like maybe the story is true of like one person is like consistently like, no, I don't want this to happen.
Yeah.
Then maybe a big blow up and nothing is really the same between the two ever again. You know? Just the ups and downs of dealing with the loss of a really strong friendship.
It's so sad.
I know.
I'm happy not to see a romance.
Yeah. I love the friendships. I want more of them.
It's so refreshing.
I know.
It really is.
They're always so good. And their breakups hurt more for me. Like Last Black Man in San Francisco.
Yeah.
I'm still hurting.
It's a different thing. You can always find a different lover.
Yeah, it's just true. Like
it's
that's
harder
just
to
true.
find another best friend.
Yeah, like just dead ass.
Yeah.
But yeah, I almost wish I like listened to the screenwriter that one day. Remember I told you I was listening to a bunch of screenwriters of the year?
Mm-hmm.
I almost wish I would have been like, oh, don't spoil it. Because I want to know if there's something deeper to this. 'Cause I feel like I have to do personal research. Because I'm just going off of
the screenwriter is the same as the director.
But I'm going, everything I'm saying, I'm going off of feelings of how I just felt about just watching it. And I feel like I have to do actual searching.
That's what I felt like. And then I kind of obviously did.
And there's like not much there.
There's not much. People on Twitter, y'all love this shit.
Really?
They loved it.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Because I just searched it just to see,
what were they saying?
Thoughts.
Like what kind of shit?
They're just taking like quotes.
Aww.
And, just different things. I know.
Yeah.
I'll not get over that.
Mm-hmm.
They said like this. There's a quote. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got it.
They love it, is the point.
Yeah. I mean, okay. It's not like my personal...
because I'm still caught on the fact that it's a 9.7 to you. That is...
It's just like, as
near
a movie,
perfect. We never even talked about that.
Me being completely emotionally detached. Emotionally, I'm detached. Logically, I'm just, like, trying to say someone wrote and created this.
Mm-hmm.
How, like, what score would I give you? it feels like you are like a true artist. Like you're
Okay.
tapping into, you're not using just your materials that everyone else is using. You're also using a little bit of something else
Okay.
that we call like art.
I agree with you. And I just did a rating, personally. Because personally, that's what it did for me. Like 8.5.
Yeah, no, that's
So
why I
what is your
made it clear
personal?
that like this does not make it my favorite movie. Like I'm
Right.
not gonna write home about it.
Now, what is your personal rating then? What would you say?
Personally, not how I like think about it, but how I feel.
Just how you felt watching it the whole time and just, ending and everything.
It's so tough. Maybe like an 8.75.
Okay. And you just knocked off one.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think it's better than I feel about it. It's like
Okay.
a weird thing. Like despite me, because I just have a specific taste.
Yeah,
So it's not
that's
that
how I
like
feel.
it's a bad movie. Obviously I just have my own things I am drawn to.
Yeah.
And this isn't typically something that I'm gonna be super drawn to, but I
Right.
still think it's a great job.
Okay, so what's the beef with the ending?
Like I said, it just like I thought it was gonna have like a big moral, and I guess like it does. Like I guess like I get your point. It's a really obvious
Do you
point.
have like beef with the fact that he didn't just burn up in the house?
I think like I don't know what ending would be better. Like I couldn't tell you.
Or do you think it's like almost better because it shows that his friend is kind of a pussy in a way?
I like I like the message. Like I don't know, I got it. It made sense. I think the reason I like the movie, like I said, was because it gave me like this short story, this cute little short
Yeah.
story. But if I was hearing this cute little weird short story and I was gonna tell someone this story, the
Yeah.
ending, like that's not a powerful ending. Like, oh
Yeah.
shit. Like that was such a weird, crazy story.
Yeah.
It was just like, and then they went on their separate ways. Dot dot dot. The end.
Yeah, for
So
real.
it's just like, I'm just not as satisfied with that. But I get the message.
Do you feel
and-
like Podrick is gonna come back and try again? Either kill him or befriend him, because it didn't feel done.
Yeah.
Because he at the end didn't he say it would have been better if you stayed in there?
He said it would have been even. Their like
Yeah.
beefs.
Or do you think it's truly over? Because the friend wants to end it now.
Yeah,
he's
he's
pissed.
homeless.
He's homeless.
And he's not like, it's not like he can just go like release an apartment.
No, I know.
Like he's gonna have to build it or something. It's crazy. Like he's really
I
homeless.
know. It's really crazy.
And yeah, Podrick still doesn't feel even.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. This motherfucker is homeless bad.
Yeah.
He's probably living at that beach
Yeah.
every night. But
He
this
really is.
motherfucker is so bizarre because he's like the type who's gonna be like, he doesn't care
I
that
know.
he's sleeping out in the rain.
I know. He
'Cause
gives
he
me
cut
the
off his
vibes
own
of those
fingers
like
and shit.
narcissistic artist types.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the vibe he gives me. It's very annoying.
Yeah, and it was also funny when he was talking about Mozart in the 17th century, and Shaban was like, actually, it's the 18th.
Yeah.
Fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Just, guys are all stupid.
She ate.
I know. Shaban came to steal, kill, and destroy, and she motherfucking did.
She did. I hope she's successful. I hope she lived her best dreams.
As the librarian in the mainland.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was for her. She needed to get away from this small, rotten town.
Yeah, it's rotten town.
I feel her.
Mhm. Yeah.
And her clothes, did you notice her clothes were always so vibrant compared to everyone else's?
I didn't know
On the boat, she had this bright yellow coat. And then she was in town one time, and she was wearing this bright red, and everybody
Yeah.
is I just
did.
thought she was different. I loved her.
Mm-hmm. Siobhan should have her own spinoff, just called Siobhan.
Yeah. Give like Portrait of a Lady on Fire vibes for her movie.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, do you have more to say? There's like more to it, but I feel like we've covered
It's
the basics.
simple. I mean, it was cute. It was
do you want to
sweet.
like really quickly? What do you think of the friendship between Dominic and Patrick?
Pure.
Mm-hmm.
How do you
That's
feel?
it. Yeah, I thought it was cute. It was almost like they were almost like different mental levels of understanding per character. Siobhan's at the top, obviously.
Yeah.
And then there's like Colum in a weird way in terms of in ratio to Podrick. Like it feels like Colum's a little more mentally there than Podrick is.
Yeah.
And then underneath Podrick is like Dominic.
Yeah.
So like it's like Podrick and Dominic are both these kind of like
Yes.
I don't know how to think for myself type people, or like I
Dominic's
don't
just a
trust
kid.
like if they're both like kids,
Yeah.
but like they're not is the weird thing.
I know. Well, Dominic
really
kind
is.
of is. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Rest in peace to Dominic. Sad that you
For
just
real.
fell
Rest in peace to Jenny.
And he would get his ass beat. He didn't like really give a shit.
Oh,
He got beat up.
I know. I know.
He'd say me daddy.
I know.
Sorry, daddy. I didn't tell him that, daddy. It's just the whiskey.
It was so sad.
Oh,
He makes me feel so bad for him. I don't know why.
You should watch his other shit. Maybe you won't feel like that. He's always a fucking psychopath.
Okay, for sure.
But he does that really well too.
Yeah.
Anyway,
That's a good range.
I think that's all I have to say.